What's up, y'all? I gotta move this cord. Okay. This is gonna be real fast. Real cute, real simple, okay? So, I was thinking about how I hear a lot of people say that they have a hard time being consistent with their content. So, if you have a hard time being consistent, I want you to listen to this and ask yourself this question. So, I was looking at the word commitment, right? And so when we think about a commitment, and think about like being committed in a marriage, being committed to a relationship, you are loyal, you are devoted to that thing. And the thing about being committed to something is that it is you are expecting something to come from it in the future sense. So any commitment that you make, it is implied that you are doing this for the future. Like you're in it for the long haul, basically. And so when we think about being consistent, I come to the realization that you have to be committed before you can be consistent. And so in order for you to be committed to something, you really have to see there has to be something that is driving you to do this. Like you have to really have something that is big, something that is major. And when I think about being committed to anything, I think about vision. Like, what do I want to see happen in the future? What am I doing this for? What am I expecting the outcome to be? So you have to be committed to the vision. You got to be committed to what it is you want to see happen. And that commitment, that faithfulness, that loyalty to this thing has to be something that happens regardless of how you feel, regardless of how the situation may look, because it's going to look crazy sometimes. And it has to come regardless of just how it looks. Like it has to be something that you know that you know that you know is going to happen, come whatever. So in order for you to be consistent, you got to be committed first. And so consistency, when I looked it up, the synonyms for it were having like a rhythm, right? It's a flow to this thing. And so when you are committed, you have a responsibility to be consistent in order to maintain that commitment. You see what I'm saying? So there's almost like a hierarchy to this thing. So if you are struggling to be consistent, one of the biggest things that you probably are struggling with right now is that you don't have anything bigger to commit yourself to. You're not committed to it yet. And so that's not a bad thing necessarily, because that just means that you need to understand what your vision is, what your reason is for doing it in order for the consistency to come. I was not able to be more consistent with my content, to be more bold in my marketing, and even to understand what type of business to have until I knew my vision, until I knew my why, until I knew the kind of people I wanted to serve. And so once I was committed to that, the consistency came as a result of me needing to maintain that commitment. So I want you to think about that. Are you committed to it? Before you can be consistent, you got to be committed. So if you're not committed yet, you probably have an issue with not knowing what the vision is yet. You don't know the vision. And so that all falls into branding. The branding is your why. It's the heart of your business. It's the reason why you do what you do. So if you don't know your vision, you don't know your brand, that's where you need to start. And I can guarantee you that once you know your why and once you understand who you're doing this for, the consistency will fall into place. So if you don't know your brand yet and you're listening and you're like, I want to be committed to something, I want to know what that is, what that looks like, I want you to follow me, join the Discord that I have down in the description box. And we're going to work on not only understanding your brand, but also how to make your brand into a profitable product, profitable service. We're going to make a whole business out of this thing. Okay. So if you don't even know what that looks like just yet, you ain't got to worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. We're going to figure that all out together. So get in the Discord. Let's get your brand together. Let's get you committed to something and see how the consistency flows after that. So that's it, y'all. That's my quick word for today. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow.